But tonight we begin with a Valley man searching for his father's final resting place. He says a cemetery where he's buried didn't keep proper records and his requests for help have been ignored. Channel 5's Gabriela Garza spoke with the owners of the cemetery to see what can be done.
A place full of life and memories where families go to visit loved ones they've lost.
My dad passed away about almost 60 years ago. He was killed by a drunk driver while walking on a highway.
Cristobal Martinez says for years he's been unable to visit his father. Martinez tells us his father is buried here in Ashland Memorial Park Cemetery. The only problem, no one seems to know where exactly.
When I went to find him, they didn't know for sure where he was. There's no record of him being buried there.
At the time of his father's death, his family couldn't afford to pay for a service, let alone a headstone. Martinez tells us the county buried his father in Romalinda, which years later became Ashland Memorial Park Cemetery.
We had no money, so the county buried him. So there again, I thought maybe there'd be a record there, but when I checked, they didn't have records going back that far.
Martinez says he just wants to be able to give his father a final gift.
I would like to find my dad before it's too late for me. I'd like to put a headstone there and know that he's there. They actually told me that I could put a headstone in any of those two unmarked graves, but I still wouldn't know whether that was my dad there or not.
We spoke with Tammy Garza of Rudy Garza's funeral home. She tells us they received ownership of Ashland Memorial Park Cemetery in the 90s. Since then, they've been up to date in their record keeping. She says the previous record keeping of Ashland is scarce.
There are two unmarked graves right where he is supposedly buried. So I thought that would be easy, but I guess not.
Garza tells us they are unable to dig up a plot without reason since there is no specific information stating where Martinez's father is buried. On the surface, Garza doesn't believe anything can be done. She did offer to meet with Martinez to discuss other options.
It doesn't feel right not knowing where he's at exactly. I mean, I could be over somebody else's family.
Martinez says he'll work with the staff at Rudy Garza Funeral Home to finally be able to give his father's resting place a name. In Harlingen, Gabriela Garza, Channel 5 News at 6.
Today, Channel 5 News spoke with Jim Kinnerly of the Texas Cemetery Association to find out what laws and regulations are in place for cemeteries. According to the Texas Health and Safety Code concerning burial records, the person in charge of premises on which interments are made shall keep a record of bodies interred or otherwise disposed of on the premises. The records must include for each decedent the decedent's name, the place of death, date of interment or disposal, the name and address of the funeral director, and any other information required by the state registrar. The records are open to official inspection at all times. Kinnerly tells Channel 5 News this is a state law and cemeteries must follow and keep updated records.